Good afternoon, folks. Robert Chappell here, Executive Editor of Madison365 with your daily update for February 2nd, 2222. I have not tweeted that yet. I've not put that on social media, but I love that it's 2222, so there you go. Groundhog Day, and we have lots of local news to get to, but first we're going to talk through some COVID stats, which are looking really good. Is still a bit of a stretch, right? But better, okay? Today, we're looking at 5,162 new cases per day on a 7-day average. That's pretty high, but it's much lower than it was last week. Last week, even Friday, it was like 7,000 something. Yesterday was almost 6,000. So it's falling rapidly. If you were to look at the chart, it goes straight up and then straight back down. It's quite remarkable. 7-day positive test rate also continues to fall, 18.3%, which is still higher than our peak in 2020. In the worst days of the original sort of beta surge, way back in the first time we went through this in the fall, November 2020, we got as high as 17.5. Now we're at 18.3, which is on the way down. It was at 30 at one point, not too long ago. So that continues to fall as well. What is shocking and baffling and really good news for me is that the death rate continues also to fall. Now, deaths are a lagging indicator, and deaths indicate what was happening 4 weeks ago, give or take, 4 to 5 weeks ago, in terms of cases. So 4 or 5 weeks ago, late December, early January, our case counts were going up rapidly. So right now, our deaths should be going up, but they're not. They're going down, and that is tremendously good news. Now, with this caveat, right, with this grain of salt, that these are deaths that are just being reported now. So right now, the 7-day average of deaths is 23 per day. That was 31 on Friday. It was 29 yesterday, 24 yesterday, sorry, 24. So to see that coming down quickly is really good, but really, I'm not sure why that is. And it might be, this is the grain of salt, it might be just reporting delays, right? This is 23 deaths that have been confirmed per day. That means that the death certificate has been processed and entered into the state data. So there might be more deaths from that Omicron surge that haven't made it into the data yet for whatever reason. So just keep that in the back of your mind. But right now, all indications are that this Omicron surge is not being reflected in a surge in deaths, that would be great. If we had a huge number of cases over that month of January, but very few deaths, we'll take it. I think that's going to go up, though, because we did see the big spike in hospitalizations in January. So I have to think that the deaths will go up, but for right now they're not, so we'll take it. Speaking of hospitalizations, also continue to fall rapidly. We're down to 1,442 currently hospitalized. That's 389 fewer than a week ago. That's a massive drop-off, which is great news. We're at 296 people currently in the ICU. That's 70 less than a week ago. Also a big drop-off there. So that's all very good news. Now, we do know that the Omicron BA, is it dot or point? I don't know if it's BA.2 or BA.2. I don't know. But there's a new version of Omicron that we talked about on Friday that is, it has reached Wisconsin now. And it is said to be roughly 1.5 times more contagious than Omicron. And which in Omicron is somewhere between 3 and 10 times more contagious than Delta. Okay, so we're seeing another variant, relatively small numbers, but it's massively contagious. Now, will that cause another big surge? Hard to say. I tend to doubt it, just because there's much less virus out there right now. It's possible we could see a little surge, though. I don't know that we'll get to that 18,000 cases a day that we saw earlier in the month of January. But we will, if we do, you'll hear about it here, right? We'll definitely keep tabs on it. So that's the other sort of grain of salt right now, is that Omicron's falling, Vaccines are doing well. We are very likely to see vaccines approved for emergency use authorization by the end of the month or maybe early March for kids under 5, which will be great news. Right. So we're still on the, I feel like we're approaching the tail end of this. We've thought that before. So it's hard to say, you don't want to be too optimistic. On the other hand, we've always said if we get 70-something% of people vaccinated, we'll be all right. We're now at 60%, basically. 59.4 have completed the series. 63.3 have gotten at least one dose. So got a little ways to go yet, but we're getting there. Okay. So I'm feeling, I don't know, optimistic, confident, I guess. I don't know. Hard to say, but I'm very encouraged by the death rate staying low and the hospitalizations coming down so rapidly. That's all pretty good news. Like I said, these numbers are still high, but they're falling, right? The trend is in the right direction. So we're going to take a short pause and we will be right back. I have a whole bunch of local and national stories for you. Some interesting things to talk about that have been on the website today. So don't scroll away. Stick with us. We'll be back right after this. All right. It is Black History Month. As you know, in UW Green Bay is hosting a series of events starting tonight. This is the UW Green Bay. This is several members, I should say, of the Black Student Union there, which is the organization managing the Black History Month events. That's Mandela Barnes in the middle there, and he's visiting them for Kwanzaa in December. It's hard to tell with the masks on, but they're being responsible. Look at them. But there's a ton of stuff happening at UW Green Bay. If you're up in that area, check it out. There's going to be a gender inclusive cotillion, which is a very innovative idea. There's going to be free hair service all month long. There's going to be all sorts of cool fun stuff. They're screening Judas and the Black Messiah tomorrow night. It's all going to be fun. So check out that. Angelica Husry has that story for us there at Madison365.org this morning. This is Lamar Letts. He was a high school track standout who got very sick. He got myocarditis and was therefore unable to compete in college as he had planned to do, as he was recruited to do. But being sick got him interested in nutrition and looking for beverages and performance drinks. He couldn't find the one that he needed, so he created it himself. And how often is that the entrepreneurial story? So he started this company called Hilux Vitamin Water. And several Madison athletes, folks you've heard of probably, Rashad Griffith, the former Badger basketball player, Chris Canty, some other folks from Madison are working on that company with him. They are launching at Walmart.com. If they haven't already, they're launching soon. They're going to be he's going to be one of the youngest entrepreneurs selling through Walmart. So that story, Malik Anderson has that story for us at Madison365.org. Sports news. Forward Madison has signed defender Cesar Murillo. He's from El Paso, Texas. He has played 3 years in this league, in USL League One. He was a FC Dallas Academy product. He joined FC Dallas Academy when he was 15 and got his professional debut with North Texas SC, which is the League One affiliate of FC Dallas. Played there for 1 year and now has played with Greenville Triumph for the last 2 years and has now joined Forward Madison for this year. He is the second defender to be announced by the club. He, along with Mitchell Osmond from Australia, and which makes you wonder if Connor Tobin, Gustavo Fernandez, Ronaldo Lamelli, some of those other defenders from last year may or may not be returning. Sports news at the national level. The Washington Commanders We know what the Washington football team's name used to be. We choose not to say it. They have been without a mascot for almost 2 years now. And they have now just this morning announced that they will be known as the Washington Commanders, which has gotten mixed reviews, frankly, on social media. I like it. I think it's fine. I think it works. It'll work. I think people get used to it, right? But I'm not sure why it has. They said it has to be. They want it to be military-ish because that's at the Capitol, but I'm not sure why the Capitol is necessarily conflated with like war making. But whatever. But it's a football team. You can have a militaristic name. I guess that's fine. Commanders, it is. Also, national news: Howard University, seen here, is one of 14 historically Black colleges and universities that have received bomb threats in the past 2 days. This is the way some people celebrate Black History Month, apparently, threatening Black colleges and universities. The FBI is investigating. Haven't heard a lot more of information today. There were 6 bomb threats yesterday on the first day of Black History Month, or on Monday, rather, before Black History Month started. On Monday, there were a few. Yesterday, there were a couple more. Now there have been 14. And it's just deplorable, and I hate it. And that is all the news today. I thought I had one more slide for some reason, but I don't. So that is what I have for you. Once again, the COVID numbers looking really, really good. Keep your masks on if you have to. Dane County mask mandate continues through the month of February. If these numbers continue, I would not be surprised at all if they allow that mask mandate to expire. And come March, we will all be unmasked. But get vaccinated, get boosted if you haven't. That's the way out of this. That's really the way out of this. And for now, for this evening, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Have a wonderful evening, and we will talk to you soon.
This is 365 Media.